Dear students, this is VSN Kumar, Department of Computer Science, Acha Degree College, Kakinada. Welcome back to Java programming. In the last section, I explained input-output classes. Input classes are useful to accept values from user, just like scanf in C language. The output classes are useful to print the result. It is equivalent to printf. Java is an object-oriented programming language. It means everything we are writing using classes. We execute the classes or we use the classes through objects. So here the total manipulation or the execution is going on through classes, objects. That's why it is called object-oriented programming language. To read values from keyboard, there will be different classes, among them buffer reader and then string tokenizer and scanner. When we compare these three, the major important topic is scanner. In this section, I will explain string tokenizer and scanner. What is string tokenizer? The purpose of string tokenizer is it is not for reading. It will take your string. A string means a group of words. It will take your information and it will divide the string in part-wise. For example, Aditya Degree College. It is a string. The purpose of tokenizer is it will cut the string basing on a delimiter. That means Aditya Degree College. Between Aditya and degree there is a space, that is a delimiter, and degree college. In between there is a space. Or you may use comma in the place of space. When you have such type of strings, we divide it easily. That is called, what is the part we are dividing, that is called token. Token means the small word among a big string. So string tokenizer allows to divide your string into different parts. So it can be used to accept multiple inputs from console. So whatever the inputs you are giving, input means whatever the string or the matter you are giving in a single line, whereas buffer reader accepts only one input from a line. The purpose of buffer reader always reads a single line, but whereas the tokenizer will take group of lines, just like a passage or essay, like that it will take the bulk information. So that bulk information, what it will perform? It uses delimiter, space or comma to make the input into tokens, given the length string into part-wise. That is the concept. Of course, where it is useful? When you are developing the application program, in that program, what are the string or what are the passage or what are the matter you given, if you want to cut that matter into different parts, in the situation it will be useful. So the syntax will be like this: string tokenizer, it is a predefined class. Don't give space between string tokenizer. Here S must be capital, T must be capital. It is a single word. From this string tokenizer, I am creating an object, new string tokenizer, again S capital, T capital of string. This is a string what I want to cut. Maybe it is more number of words or a bulk of matter, whatever it may be. This is a string. Symbolically I represented the string in double quotations. So it will take this string as input, the string as input. This tokenizer will divide the string and then that reference it will maintain into st. Now what the st is an object, this object references the string taken by string tokenizer. That means the purpose of st is it will read each word from this string tokenizer. Now we will see an example. See this one. class name, public static void main. Now the concept is, I want to give a string. What is my string? Assume this is the declaration, string tokenizer, some object equal to new string tokenizer of some string. So string tokenizer, some object equal to new string tokenizer. This is double quotation matter. So my name is Khan. This is in double quotation. So in the double quotation, you are going to enter Aditya Degree College, comma, I want to cut my delimiter here, my delimiter is space, that means Aditya Degree, between there is a space. So that give double quotation space double quotation. This double quotation space double quotation represents the delimiter. That means between the word there is a space. It will take the space is the criteria. If you want, you may give comma. If you want, you may give comma or any symbol. Where that comma encounters, before the comma it is one word, after the comma another word. When there is this way it will continue. Wherever the comma is available, it will treat the before word as a word. It will truncate that word. Okay, it takes that word. So now this is my name is Khan, that means space. This object will be created, that object will be assigned to ST. Now ST is the object. In ST what will be there? From ST I can get my, from ST I will get name, from ST I will get is, from ST I will get Khan. So come down. Now I want to print all the strings available, that is in ST. That means really I don't know how many substrings are there. How many substrings are there I don't know. So that's why I am writing a while loop in the while, because you are already aware of while statement, that's why I am telling this example. Okay. So ST dot has more tokens. Assume that here 1, 2, 3, 4 tokens are there. In the given string, there are 4 tokens are there. ST has more tokens, yes, condition is true. So it will take the first token my. ST dot has more tokens, will take my. Now system.println ST dot next token. That means the meaning of this ST dot next token is, it will print the current token is my, and then it will forward to next token, that is name. Just it will forward. When you are going back, ST has more tokens, yes, still there are more tokens. So it will come down ST dot next token. What is the ST dot present token? Name. Then has next token means it will send that pointer to next token. Still has more tokens, yes, come down, it will print ST dot next token, that is next token, it is waiting for next token. Then going back, still there is a token. So it will print Khan, then going back. So ST dot next token, it tries to go to the next token, but the end of the string encountered. So that again it will go back. ST dot has more tokens? No. Because after Khan there were no other strings. So that condition is false, it will come down. So that you get the output my in one word, as one word name is Khan. So this is the concept of tokenizer. Whenever you are going to use the tokenizer, this class of tokenizer, whenever you are going to use this tokenizer, remember this class is available in the package called util. That means all modern classes are available in util package. So you must define the util with import java.util and the class name. Really, from the util I want to import more number of classes. For example, from util I am going to use 5 different classes. Instead of defining each and every class, string tokenizer, scanner, random, okay, vector, instead of defining each and every one with import java.util.vector, import java.util.scanner, instead of defining every one, you may define it with star mark. That means import java.util.scanner. star. You may define like this, so that all classes are loaded. Okay, so this is the concept of string tokenizer. Okay, now one more. Here the same string, but instead giving delimiter space, I given John, David, George, Frank, Tom. There are some names. Each name is separated with comma. Between every name there is a comma. This is a string. I assign this string to a name raw data. No doubt it is a string. Inside the string there will be another substrings are there. All these strings are separated with comma. All substrings are separated with comma. Just I assign this string to raw data. What the type of raw data? That is string type. String is a predefined class. Okay, so that's why there is no direct data type to hold strings. That's why we are using string predefined class. Now raw data contains the following names. Now I want to print one by one name. So again what I am doing, string tokenizer. This is the object name tokenizer. New string tokenizer raw data. Where the delimiter is in the double quotation give comma. That is the delimiter. So that it will create an object. That object is reference to tokenizer. Now this tokenizer is helpful to get each and every substring. Now come down. Again the same thing. Really I don't know how many names are there. That's why given while tokenizer dot has more tokens. Yes. So that here I am printing condition is true. Tokenizer dot next token, it will print the name John. After that again it will go back, still it will check it, has more tokens, yes, so it will print the second token. After that it will go to the third, again third token is available, so it will print third. After that it will go to fourth one, so it will check the fourth one, it is okay, it will print fourth token, then it is going back. Okay, the next token it will jump it to fifth one as Tom is there, go back. Has more tokens, yes, Tom will be printed. It tries to go to next token, but there is no name or end of the string uncounted. So again it will go back, has more tokens, false, so that it will come out. So this is the context, where this context is helpful in the places where you are going to use. This is the concept of string tokenizer. Okay. See this, your program, like this is also previous one. Okay. Now the concept scanner. This is the one of the important input class. The specialty of this class is in buffered reader you give a number, but it will take the number as string. So that there is a concept called integer.parseInt. You have to use integer.parseInt to convert the string to integer, or float.parsefloat. It converts the float string into float type. Double.parseDouble. That means buffer reader helpful to read your information in the form of a string. Later you need to convert it. But in scanner it will read your data directly, whatever the format, whether it is integer, string, character or float or double, even boolean, anything you want you may read it directly. That is why whatever the scanf is there in C language, it is similar to scanf, but it is a class. Remember, it is a class. A class you operate it with the help of scanner. This is object, this is object. You may write object name as AA or KK, anything you want you may write, just a given scanner. Here SC is in capital, here SC is in small, that is why it is an object. Or if you getting any trouble or if you are feeling any doubt, you may write AA. Scanner AA equal new scanner of system.in. S should be capital. So always use a class with new operator, because what are the class we are creating? From the class we are creating an object. Creating object means what are the methods are there in the scanner will be loaded into the object. That address of the object is referred by AA or scanner. Now later on, if you want to read value, you have to use this AA or scanner. Here system.in already told to you from keyboard. So scanner is a class in Java util package. Whenever you are writing scanner like string tokenizer, whenever you are going to write scanner, you have to define java.util. Used for obtaining the input of the primitive types like int, double, etc. As you know, primitive types are integer, float, double, char, anything. You may read it directly. And strings. It is the easiest way to read input in a Java program. The syntax is always scanner, some object name equal to new scanner of system.in. Okay. So, how do we use this scanner? See here, after creating object, from scanner, from this object, we need to read a integer or float or double or string or any type you want, you may read it. That is why I given here, whenever you want to read a boolean type, you have to use the method next boolean. This is the method. This method represents the input type. Reads a boolean value from the user, means from keyboard. Next to byte, it reads byte value. I told you the byte occupies one byte only. Next to double, it allows to read double value from keyboard. Next to float, it will read float value from the user. Next int, it will read integer value from the user. Next to line, it will read a string value. Next to long, it reads a long value. That means byte. If you want, you may write short, next to short, or integer, or long, or a float, or a double, or boolean, or byte. You are going to use the following methods along with scanner. Okay. For example, how I am going to read an integer. So scanner, first we are going to initialize your scanner object. Scanner AA equal to new scanner of system.in. System.in. That means now this AA object receives the object from scanner class. Now if you want to read an integer into some, I want to read an n value. AA dot, here n is integer. So for reading integer, you are going to use nest int. So that nest int. If you want double, give double here, double n equal to a dot nest double. Here I must be capital because it is a method. In the method, first letter is small. First word, first letter is small. The remaining words, first letter must be capital. Okay. This is what is how we are going to use scanner. Now we will see a small example. I want to read your name and age. So that first of all I have to initialize scanner. So scanner AA equal to new scanner system.in. It creates an object, keyboard object, and assigns that object to AA. Now a small message, system out.println, enter your name and age. Now I am reading a name. Name is the type of string because it is alphabets or special symbols, everything will be there. Special symbol means dot something you are going to write. AA dot next line. What is next line? Next line represents reads a string value from the user. So here A dot next line, A means this is the object. Next line. It will read a string. What is the string you want? Archer degree college or Java programming language. Any string or your name, you may enter it. That name will be assigned to the name object. It will take a name as a string and the opposite name is also string, so that string will be assigned to name. Now in this context, a.nestInt, it will read an integer, that integer will be assigned to A's. Now I am printing system.out.println, I am, in the place of name, it will write name, A's, in the place of A's, in the place of A's, it will write A's, years. For example, I am Kumar, 45 years old. It will print message like this. You may write closing braces. Of course, now it is not required, it is just a part only, how you are going to read. So, this is the way how you are going to read. This is the way how you are going to read your string. This is the method how you are going to read an integer, where we are going to use input types. The type we are specifying directly into the scanner. That is why there is a provision to read integer or float directly. But in buffer reader, this concept is not there. So, it will read everything as a strings. Later, we are converting with wrapper classes, integer.parseInt, float.parseFloat, like that. Now, here there is a program, sum of two numbers using scanner. You already aware how to add two numbers in C language, the same example I am telling you. As usual, this scanner class is available in the package called util. This scanner class is available in the package util. It is not a default package, so that you must define it. If you are not defining when you are using scanner, directly it shows the error. So that how you are defining, import java.util.s capital, because the class name always the first letter is capital, s will be capital. Okay. Now coming down, class name. So here I am going to mention the class name, add two numbers or any name you want, you may write it. This is public static void main string args. This is the main function. You may write next line or you continue the starting brace after the args. Now I want to add two numbers, so that I need to use three variables. All three variables are num1, num2, sum. So here I am going to create num1, that is 4 bytes, num2 4 bytes, that is integer occupies 4 bytes, sum another 4 bytes. Sorry. Now, to read value from keyboard, at first you must initialize your scanner class. So, scanner, this is the object name sc equal to new scanner of system.in. So that with the help of this keyboard, it will create an object and it will load all methods into that object. The address of the object will assign it to sc. Now, next one, I want to read my first number. As usual, a message will be flashed with the help of system.out.println, enter first number. This message will be given on the screen. Now, from you, the system needs to accept a number, where in num1, so that num1 equal to sc.nest, because my scanner name is sc.nestInt. NestInt allows you to read an integer value. From keyboard, it will read an integer value. That integer value will be assigned to num1. So I am going to enter 20. The 20 will be assigned to num1. Now I want to read second number. To read second number, where you are going to use num2 equal to sc.nestInt. So it will read second number. The second number will be assigned to num2, that is 10. Now next one. Why sc.close? Actually it is not required. Placing sc.close means after this statement, I don't want to read or use this scanner object. After this statement, I don't want to read or I don't want to use this scanner object. So I am closing. In case if you write sc.close here, what happens? It will take first number, it won't take second number, because you closed the object. Sc.close, a communication from the object to the scanner class, the communication you cut it, you close it. That's why it will read the above first number, but it will not read second number. If you are not going to write sc.close, nothing happens. After that, anywhere in your throughout the end of the program, you may write any value. Okay. So now come down. Second number I given 10. Now come to the next one. Sum equal num1 plus num2. That is 20 plus 10. That is 30. So now I want to print system.out.println. System will print sum of message. These numbers. So answer sum. What is sum? 30. That's here. Remember one important point. You type this program, give whatever the two integer values, it calculates the answer, it will print that answer. Rerun the same program. What I am telling you, rerun the same program, but instead of giving integer, try to give 9.5. That is a double number. What happens? Then you will understand Java is a strict type checking language or not. Because it is asking integer number, but you are giving double number. Nested means integer, but you are given double. What will happen? That you have to check it. This is the subject you are going to learn. Scanner is no problem. Simply define the scanner and variable equal to that scanner object dot nested nestword. The problem will be over. So then try to test it different types of values so that you understand easily. Okay, writing here nested double, writing nest double, define num1 and num2 as double. It's okay. I am not saying change this integer to double and change this method nest into nest double. It is okay. But is the integer, for integer, if I am giving double, what type of reaction you are expecting? That's why practical knowledge is more important. Try this one in your lab or whatever in your computer, whatever the place, then you will understand automatically. And another important thing in Java is a free form declaration. What is the meaning of free form? In C language, all variables must be declared in the beginning, that is after main. But in Java, when you are writing the following statement, you define like this: int sum equal to num1 plus num2, or in the next line int num2 equal to 5. Its meaning is in the following place I am writing the following two statements. Nothing happens because here in Java it is not mandatory that all variables must be declared on top. The usage where you are starting the variable, where you are using the variable, within that line and the above the place, in the above place where you are going to define. Here I am using sum. That's why I defined here sum. Here I am using sum to hold the value. Here I define int. Nothing happens. Here after the first time int num2 equal to 5 I define. Assume that here num2 is already defined as integer. That means you are again trying to declare. So it is going to give you error. In case if num2 is not here, you may define it here. But remember, Java is a free form of declaration. That means within the area, within the spot where you are using that variable, in that place where you define it. That is the facility supported by your Java. Okay. So, dear students, this is what is called scanner. You prepare well how you are going to use scanner, and in the next section I will give you examples, because so far I explained a Java, that means Java features followed by tokens and followed by scanner and operators, the various concept difference between C, Java, C++ and Java. I explained the topics with simple examples. Now in this moment we know how we read values from keyboard, how you print values on the screen. We are printing values, as you know, we are printing values with the help of system.out.println. Println is a method, it will print your line, after that it will come to the next line, because ln means print line, it will print a line at a time, after that it will come to the next line. This is called output class, it will show you the answer on the screen. So, using the following scanner and system, we try some programs, so that what are the programs I am giving in the next section, they will easy. They are very easy programs, but the thing is I am telling you every time, whether it is a small program or easy program or it is an understandable program, whatever it may be, your fingers must learn how you type Java program, not you. So that whenever there is a Java program, in the string S should be capital. So in the nesting, in the nest is small, I is in capital. This wordings must be applicable, so that practice, whether it is a small program or big program, whether you know or may not know, you type it, so that you get an idea and you get a confidence that I type my Java program. Okay, that is most important. So this is today's section. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Aditya, rising to new origin.